Now, friend, we done all got to that point, or we getting ready to get to that point. You just getting tired of dating. You get tired of that confusing situation, and that tired of messing around and there is no substance involved. This why we want a whole relationship. You know how you'll be like, I was talking to them and they got a whole woman in the house with them or a whole man. Well, that's what this whole relationship thing is about, baby. And when we get to that point, and okay, when we get tired of that, now we ready for our boo thing and we waiting and waiting and waiting. And we'll get to asking ourselves those questions like, when are they ever coming? How long is it going to be till I'm swept off my feet? And am I ever going to meet that person that just truly gets me, that understands me? Well, friend, I want us to take another view at these questions because just like that famous saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Baby, let me tell you how. This is like with your special boo thing, your special partner. When you are ready, I know we feel like we ready right now, but we need to be ready. And this is what's gonna get us ready, because I got a whole 30-day guarantee that's gonna prepare us for this thing so that we can be ready. 30-day guarantee, a guarantee. I know it's a little bit longer than a week, but it's guaranteed, baby. Guaranteed. So I want us to look at like this first question. When is that special someone coming? Just like I said, when you ready, baby. Well, how long is it going to be till you swept off your feet? Okay, now first, before when I get to explaining this and saying this, baby, this ain't got nothing to do with your weight. Because you know we all got little thick parts here. This ain't got nothing to do with your weight. But when it comes to excess baggage, baby, you want to be light enough to be able to be picked up. Did you hear my disclaimer at first? Okay, I just wanted to make sure you heard that. Because this is in regards to excess baggage. We got all this stuff happening with us, and we carrying weight from past relationships, and we want somebody to sweep us off our feet. You heavy. You got all this excess baggage. Rewind it if you missed my disclaimer. The practice of clarity. When we are practicing clarity, when we want this person to understand us, because all our questions up there is an indication of preparation. And when we want that person to understand us, we are practicing better communication. We are being in a habit of bringing that clarity, because when you have clarity and confidence, it's like it's understood on who you are and how you're going to be. But you have to know that for yourself. And so I want us to look at the atoms, because this is an indication that we all need preparation. And when I mean by the atoms, this is Adam and Eve before he named her Eve, because they are one. I want us to remember that they are one when she went on and did what she did, because they was one. Friend, okay, wait a minute now. I got to put the pain down. I just want you to keep something in mind, because a lot of us get stuck, because I mentioned this before, but a lot of us get stuck in, yeah, this was a rib that came from his body, and this is the woman, and flesh of your flesh and blood of your blood. I mean, the brother was given a description when he wrote out Genesis, and this is still a further description in the oneness. But in looking at Adam and Eve, because I digress. In looking at Adam and Eve, they didn't know each other, they didn't know themselves, and they did not know love. They didn't know God. I mean, someone could be in your face all day long and you still not know it. And this also shows us that these are two people that are hooked up with God, that are hooked up by God. And even though God hook us up with stuff, boy, we could still just miss the whole point. And be kind of destructive on how we are with our peoples. Because if we are caught up in ourselves and what we desire, we could damage our unity. And this is about the whole relationship, because when we got the whole relationship, we have the unity. So, and the atoms also, Adam and Eve, also show us how we can be and have this oneness with a person all day long, and not know anything about them or not really be paying attention to them because we're so caught up in our own desires. And that kind of brings a separation, it brings a separation to that oneness. So in looking at relationships, and if anybody know where this comes from, I am just using this as an example. We are not going about the ways and how this person goes about doing this, but we're going to look at this homie, lover, friend situation. And I explained that because it came from R. Kelly. I don't know where R. Kelly got it from, but right now this is all we're using from R. Kelly. God bless him. Help him with his journey, Lord. But we're looking at the homie, lover, friend because this is what we want, the total package, all in our partner. Homie, lover, friend. And I'm going to give you a little breakdown because we got all of the toxic breakdowns and stuff, but let's get this positive green flag breakdown with this homie. You have the one that you can kick it with, the one that you can have fun with, the one that you just have a ball with. Go to the mall or go play with the balls like basketball, football. They rhyme, bro. They rhyme. So it's like this is the person that you can kick it with, that you can really enjoy yourself. Now the lover, I'm just going to keep that short, simple, and sweet. Private person in the streets and a freak in the sheets. So that's the lover part. The friend is the person that you can be vulnerable with. Because I know we kind of looked at that like, but the homie and the friend is the same. Nah. I'm about to make it a difference. This friend you could be vulnerable with. You don't necessarily have to be out and kicking it and always have to be laughing to be in the presence of this person. You could be something going on with you and you need this person, and then that's not a monetary need. It could just be a need like, man, I just need you to hit me out. I just need you to sit here with me for a minute because I just need somebody sitting here with me. This is what that friend does. So it's like when we get this partner, we want this whole thing in the entire package. But the thing about it is when we get back to Adam and Eve, when we're so busy looking at what we want, we can kind of miss that. We can miss that and when we're so caught up in our own desires and focusing on what we want as far as in the self, we miss the unit. Because that is a much bigger thing. And we're keeping it to a small thing. We're keeping it separated. Because you can have two people who are only thinking about themselves. And this is where it's the constant conflict. So unlike the Adams, Adam and Eve, we have experience. Because Adam and Eve are like grown children. People will talk about Adam and Eve, they're wrong in doing this and they're wrong in doing that. They were curious adults who had the mind of children, who didn't have life experiences like we have life experiences. But we also have the wisdom of other people who have had these, man, this is what happened when I should have listened to this, but I didn't. and they didn't listen to wisdom. And so we are able to read these people's wisdom. And so in the beginning of this video, I was supposed to have mentioned that you were to write down your interests. But since I forgot to, I'm going to mention it right now. So I would like for you to get a pen, because this is where this 30-day guarantee comes in at. Get you a pen and a couple of pens and either like a notebook or a journal. I would like for you to write down the partner, the type of person that you're actually interested in. Like, what does that look like? What does this person's character look like? Like, what is it that you want in the us of this relationship? However that is, however you heard that, however you see as to write that down as far as your interest with this person that you're waiting for, this person that you're preparing for. Write that down. Write that out. Now, in this same notebook, after you've written this out, because friend, this is some homework over time. 30 days. I'm telling you, 30 days, because this is where we're going to have an opportunity to reflect and see the difference in this thing. And like, does this thing really work? Is this thing on? Is it on? So yeah, we're checking to see if this thing is on. And you want to see how it works out. So after you've written down this portion, and please come back to this video, especially 30 days after. I'm gonna work on having a reminder. But after you've written down your interests, my fellow kings and queens, friends, I have a treasure for you. Oh, the crows would come now because I have something for them. I might not should have said that. Anywho, I have a treasure for you. In Proverbs, there are 31 Proverbs. This is a proverb a day, friend. And when this video is being released, it's going to be released on the 30th, July 30th. Whenever you decide to rewatch it, this date won't matter, but still, we got 30. How many Proverbs did I say? 31? You got 31 days. Every day to read this. If you skip the weekend or whatever, it's still, keep in mind, we picking right back up. But anywho, kings and queens, this is where our treasure is, and this treasure is hidden. I want you to take your time and allow yourself space in the quiet time to start seeking out this wisdom. You're starting off with Proverb 1. And you're going to go on to 31 each day. They're not very long. They're short. And as you read these Proverbs, allow yourself time to process it. The things that speak to you. This way your pen comes in, because after you then wrote down your interests, whether you decide to start today or tomorrow, it's still, you flip the page over and start a whole nother section. In this section, and as you're processing Proverbs, you're writing out the things that speak to you. If this is if a version that you have, you may not quite grasp what it's saying to you. You're not getting clarity in your visuals with that, in your imagination station. Get other versions. There are a whole bunch of other versions. There are a whole bunch of versions online you can type up. There are versions in the bookstores. They're starting to reopen bookstores now. You can order you some different copies. There are no excuses for you to seek out the treasure that is already hidden for you. Bam, right there in your face. So we want to take time out and write down the questions that we have. We also want to really look at this thing, not make it like a habit. Okay, this is what she said, do it every day. I'm going to read it, and this wisdom is going to come to me. No, you want to eat this thing and savor the flavor. And as you are reading it, see where can you apply this wisdom in your life, because it's going to be telling you some stuff to do. Because it's teaching men and women, but it says a lot about my son, as far as men, this, that, and the other. But you can also look at that as my daughter. So this is various ways of, because it's wisdom of peopling. That's basically what it is. And even though it has the gender in there, you can flip-flop them genders. Because it's also showing, even though it's in portions showing men how, okay, fellas, these are the women that you want to stay away from because they are alluring you to places that you really don't want to be at. You know for a fact you don't want to be there. And so it's telling you what those women look like. It's also telling you different business things, different community things. The same thing with women, because ladies, you may see yourself as that adulterous woman and think like, that is what I'm doing. You know what? I don't want to be like that anymore, because I have been bogus with Johnny and his 5 apples. Anyway, man, it's the mind of an only child on half of the family. You'll figure that out later on. Anyway, we want to see how we can apply this wisdom, actually reflect on how we can kind of see ourselves in this thing and see how, I was kind of living a dangerous road doing that. Okay. But in taking this up a notch higher, in everything that we're reading, you want to include God in on the reading. You want to pray before you crack the Bible open. You want to pray and ask God to open your spiritual eyes to the wonders of his laws. Now, we may look at thou shalt not do this just as the only law, but you don't hear that whole law of attraction, law of manifestation. Yeah, it seemed like those laws are cool and they beneficial for you and for your good, but then them laws don't seem like they all that good when it's like, but I like doing that though. So, this is the beauty of this whole relationship thing and seeking this wisdom out, because we're processing this. It's going to take you 31 days to look at this wisdom, and this is just only looking at it this once per day. As you actually get into this, because this isn't one of those things like I've read it, I've got it, it's in me. This is a life study. This is a lifestyle change. And even though I'm saying the whole 30-day guarantee, which baby, I guarantee you, because at that first list you're going to have, you write down what type of partner you want, whether this be a business partner, relationship partner. There are a lot of partners out there. So you're writing down what type of partner you want, what you want that partner to look like. After these 31 days, and you've written down your questions, the things that spoke to you, the things that kind of have you thinking about throughout their entire day, and you're able to see it like, okay, I see what they're talking about as far as that XYZ person that's trying to get on your nerves, and right now I have to ignore that. And so when you have time to allow this to process, it starts to process you. So friend, we have to not look at this stuff as being, oh my God, I got to read this. This is what I have to do. Because this is relationship. This is how we gain the whole relationship. Because all on the gram and on the book, I mean, they give you pictures all day of some that look good, but don't you believe it. It look good, but it don't be good. I'm not saying that's about everybody, but a lot of people out there faking the funk. It's ain't for real though, but they faking what they anyway. I digress. So in writing this whole thing down, gosh darn it, I want you to, after your 31 days, and after you've had time to ask these questions, include God in and see what it is that, because this is bringing a whole nother layer. This is bringing a whole nother layer into this wisdom situation, because it's bigger than, okay, I'm reading this, I understand what you're saying, I get it, I done read it, I've been there, done that, I got the wisdom. Now this is a thing like, okay, so what do you have to say about this world? What are you saying? What is this? Help me understand this. And then getting that breakdown. Friend, there is so much that we want, and we still have to get to a point to recognize that our desires aren't always very helpful for us. And you look at this thing like, okay, God created me. Why did he create me? Why am I here? What is the purpose of me being here? He can answer all of those things. Not necessarily saying that every question that we have, he's going to answer in this lifetime. But especially in working to get to know him and how this relationship thing goes, he has various ways of answering you. And this is a living wisdom experience. We have to get to a point in seeing that it's bigger than the natural. That's where that supernatural thing comes in, and we want to experience this ghost. We want to know that it's real. Some of that scary stuff, it's like, you'll be calling it and you'll find out it's real and kind of maybe sometimes slightly regret it because it be other stuff attached to that stuff. But really finding out that God is real, that Christ is real. This is the whole relationship. I'm hungry. You get like this whole pie thing. You think about all these ingredients and you think God is like giving you a piece of him, but it's the fullness thereof. And it's this little section in Proverbs is just the beginning, friend. You got a whole book of treasures. My kings, my queens, seek this stuff out. Because the focus, even though it's a discussion here as, okay, we're looking and reflecting on these things because after this 30 days, you're writing down now, what does this partner look like to you? How do you want this partner to be so you can reflect and see the differences? You need to be able to see the differences that wisdom have to offer you. Because what we think we know now, oh, we think we wise, we may think we know, we done got by, we done made it this far. But then once wisdom expands, like you could be the person who know exactly what it is that you want. But now let's look at the will of God. We can definitely, God has, oh my goodness. When you know God loves you, because you think you love yourself, when you make yourself feel good, and you think it's not love when it doesn't feel good. But if you ever had to work out or ever had to do a discipline to reach higher statures or levels, so to speak, you had to put in more work, you had to be more disciplined, you had to go harder. We have to be willing to put in the work for spiritual growth, for our relationships, not just because I want more money, because I want more. Have the desire to be more. When we are in a place of having the desire to be more, this helps us to be whole. Friend, in this walk, God has a way of filling us. This cup runneth over. He fills us with his love. He fills us with his wisdom. He fills us with this peace and this joy, because stuff could be hitting the fan, and while everybody else is crying, you still have something to be thankful for. Not saying it's like you won't be empathetic to other people's feelings, but it's sometimes when everybody else is crying, you have to be the one to pass the tissue around and give hugs and be like, is everything okay? Even though stuff hit the fan in your court. So it's like sometimes you have to be the strong one when everybody is weak. And even at that time, you really are weak. But in having the full understanding when you are weak, he's made strong. And when you're giving him your weakness, he gives you the fullness of him. It's so much to the strength, because I want to say it's not just strength, because you look at strength like, ugh, but it's like peace. Peace is connected with this strength. And in this relationship, there is constant wisdom. There is this constant, like you can always pick up your internal phone and hello. And it's like you're not waiting on him to get out of a meeting. You're not waiting on him to finish talking to your cousin. None of that. But in this study and taking time out to just in this little bit, because when you're faithful with the little, you'll be given more. So just this is the start of our faithfulness. You start off each day reading one proverb at a time and processing that proverb as the day goes on. And as the next day we go to the next proverb and including God in on these internal conversations that we're having and getting to know him. Because as we get to know him, unlike Adam and Eve, the Adams, when we get to know him, we get to know better ourselves, and we also get to know better the partner who is there for us. And we're less likely to do our own choosing, because we seen what happened when God then does the hooking up. But it's a thing because it's like God could hook us up, but when we're just doing our own thing, man, we can mess that up. But then when we both are submitted to God, when both people are submitted to God, and even when that other partner is weak, you're not leading them astray. You're not guiding them in the wrong direction, but you're able to give them life. You're able to reassure them with the word. You're able to bring this wholeness to the table and see the wholeness in your partner because it's already a whole relationship there. I love you guys. God loves you even more. Find out and experience why. Because even in the little pieces that you're getting from him, it's a whole part, baby. It's a whole part, man. We want to experience this whole relationship because it's a game changer. Like, share, and subscribe. Whole relationship, y'all. Till next time.